Every single day, millions of people wake up believing they need more to be happy. A newer phone, a bigger house, the latest fashion trends. They chase these desires with money they haven't earned yet, trapped in an endless cycle that promises fulfillment but delivers only debt and exhaustion. The truth is, this isn't about willpower or discipline. It's about understanding how consumer culture has been carefully designed to keep wallets open and bank accounts empty. Most people don't realize they're stuck in a trap until years have passed, and they're still living paycheck to paycheck, despite earning more than ever before. The system works because it's invisible. Advertisements don't feel like manipulation when they're packaged as inspiration. Social media doesn't seem dangerous when it's just friends sharing their lives. But behind every scroll, every targeted ad, every influencer post, there's a calculated effort to transform contentment into craving. The average person encounters thousands of marketing messages every single day, each one engineered to create a sense of lack. Research shows that exposure to idealized lifestyles through social media directly correlates with increased spending and decreased life satisfaction. The message is clear and constant: what you have isn't enough, and neither are you. This isn't accidental. Consumer culture thrives on manufactured dissatisfaction. Understanding the consumer trap, the psychology behind excessive spending runs deeper than most people imagine. Emotions drive nearly 90% of purchasing decisions, which explains why shopping feels good in the moment, but often leads to regret later. When stress builds up or boredom sets in, the brain seeks relief, and consumer culture offers an easy solution: buy something. This phenomenon, commonly called retail therapy, provides a temporary dopamine hit that fades quickly, creating the need for another purchase to recreate that fleeting satisfaction. But emotional triggers are just the beginning. Modern marketing has evolved into a sophisticated science that exploits cognitive biases most people don't even know they have. The anchoring effect makes sale prices seem like incredible deals, even when they're still overpriced. Scarcity tactics create artificial urgency, convincing shoppers they'll miss out if they don't buy immediately. Social proof leverages the human need for belonging, suggesting that everyone else is buying this product, so you should too. Credit cards and buy now, pay later schemes have fundamentally changed how people perceive spending. When there's no immediate pain of handing over cash, the psychological barrier to purchasing disappears. Studies demonstrate that people spend significantly more when using credit compared to cash, even when they know they'll eventually have to pay it back. This disconnect between spending and the consequence of spending keeps people trapped in cycles of debt that can take decades to escape. Social comparison has become weaponized in the digital age. Platforms designed to connect people have inadvertently created environments of constant comparison. When feeds are filled with carefully curated highlight reels of others' lives, the pressure to keep up becomes overwhelming. Research confirms that heavy social media users tend to spend more on non-essential items as they attempt to match the lifestyles they see online. The irony is that most of those perfect lives are built on debt and financial stress hidden behind filtered photos. Perhaps the most insidious aspect of consumer culture is how it links identity to possessions. People don't just buy products anymore, they buy into lifestyles and identities. The car someone drives, the clothes they wear, the technology they own, all these things have become statements about who they are as individuals. This creates a perpetual need to maintain and upgrade these identity markers, ensuring that spending never stops. When self-worth becomes entangled with net worth, breaking free becomes exponentially harder. Breaking free from the spending cycle, escaping consumer culture begins with awareness, but awareness alone isn't enough. The first concrete step involves cutting off the constant stream of messages designed to create desire. This means unfollowing social media accounts that promote excessive consumption, blocking advertisements where possible, and unsubscribing from promotional emails that fill inboxes with temptation. Every marketing message eliminated is one less opportunity for manufactured need to take root. The practice of mindful consumption requires asking critical questions before every purchase. Does this item align with genuine values and long-term goals? Is this addressing a real need or filling an emotional void? Can this money serve a better purpose? These questions create friction in the buying process, disrupting the impulse purchases that drain bank accounts without delivering lasting value. Implementing a waiting period before any non-essential purchase, whether it's 24 hours or 30 days, dramatically reduces regretful spending. Understanding personal spending triggers is essential for lasting change. Some people shop when bored, others when stressed, anxious, or seeking social validation. Identifying these patterns allows for the development of healthier alternatives. Instead of shopping for entertainment, activities like hiking, reading, or creative pursuits provide fulfillment without financial cost. Instead of buying things to impress others, investing in genuine relationships and personal growth creates authentic satisfaction that possessions never can. Creating a structured budget isn't glamorous, but it's fundamental to financial freedom. The 50-30-20 rule provides a simple framework: 50% of income for necessities, 30% for wants, and 20% for savings and debt repayment. However, those serious about building wealth often flip the script, minimizing wants and maximizing savings. Every dollar saved and invested today becomes multiple dollars in the future through the power of compound growth. Debt elimination deserves aggressive priority. Interest payments represent money flowing away from wealth building and into the pockets of lenders. High-interest consumer debt, particularly from credit cards, can easily consume 15 to 5% or more in annual interest. Paying off these obligations transforms that outflow into available capital for investing. The debt snowball method, where smaller debts are paid off first to build momentum, works for many people because it provides quick psychological wins that sustain motivation. Building wealth through intentional living, minimalism offers a powerful framework for those seeking to escape consumer culture. It's not about deprivation or living with as few possessions as possible. Rather, it's about intentionally choosing what adds genuine value while eliminating everything else. This shift from quantity to quality applies to belongings, commitments, relationships, and experiences. When people own less, they paradoxically gain more time, more money, more mental clarity, and more freedom. The principle of living below one's means forms the foundation of wealth building. This doesn't require poverty-level existence. It simply means keeping lifestyle inflation in check even as income grows. When most people earn more, they immediately spend more upgrading homes, cars, and wardrobes. This keeps them perpetually at the edge of their means regardless of income level. Those who build significant wealth do the opposite, maintaining modest lifestyles while directing increased earnings towards savings and investments. Automated saving removes willpower from the equation. Setting up automatic transfers to savings and investment accounts the moment paychecks arrive ensures that wealth building happens consistently without requiring constant decision-making. This pay-yourself first approach treats saving as a non-negotiable expense rather than an afterthought. Even modest amounts saved consistently grow substantially over time through compound interest, turning small sacrifices today into financial security tomorrow. Investing distinguishes wealth builders from mere savers. Money sitting in traditional savings accounts loses purchasing power to inflation over time. Investing in diversified portfolios of stocks, bonds, and real estate allows money to grow faster than inflation, actually building wealth rather than just preserving it. Starting early maximizes the power of compound returns, where investment gains generate their own gains. Time in the market matters more than timing the market, making immediate action more valuable than waiting for perfect conditions. Financial independence represents the ultimate escape from consumer culture. It's defined as having sufficient assets that investment returns can cover living expenses without requiring active income. The common framework suggests needing roughly 5 times annual expenses invested to support sustainable withdrawal rates. This might seem daunting, but breaking it into smaller milestones makes it achievable. The first $1,000 saved, then $10,000, then $100,000. Each milestone brings increased options and decreased financial stress. The path to wealth isn't about denying enjoyment or living miserably in the present. It's about distinguishing between purchases that bring lasting value and those that provide only fleeting satisfaction. Research consistently shows that experiences create more enduring happiness than possessions. Investing in relationships, personal growth, and meaningful experiences while avoiding accumulation of unnecessary things leads to both greater wealth and greater life satisfaction. Breaking free from consumer culture and building wealth requires rejecting the story that happiness comes from having more. It demands choosing intentionality over impulse, purpose over possessions, and long-term freedom over short-term gratification. The journey isn't always easy, especially in a world designed to extract money at every opportunity. But the alternative, remaining trapped in the endless cycle of work, spend, debt, stress, is far worse. True wealth isn't measured by what can be bought. It's measured by the freedom to live life on personal terms, unburdened by financial stress and unlimited by the need to constantly consume. That freedom is available to anyone willing to step off the consumer treadmill and walk a different path.